Last news report for 2 weeks. Better make it count. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, May 20th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. First off, I want to start off with some pretty cool stuff. Multiversus, the Warner Brothers Smash Bros. Got a pretty cool trailer that I'll have a link to down below in the description. It showed off a bunch of the different characters, like the Iron Giant and Arya Stark, obviously the DC characters, but you have Tasmanian Devil and Adventure Time, so they're pulling from all over. The Warner Brothers IP to get characters in the game. There was I believe at the end of the trailer there was an announcement for a closed alpha that is happening, I believe right now, and then there's an open beta scheduled for June, July timeframe. I think it was in July. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm looking forward to. I'm kind of tired of Smash Bros. Kind of having a dominance on that kind of platform fighter. I know the Brawlhalla exists, but I think I connect and engage with the Warner Brothers IP a lot, so I'm kind of excited. I'm very excited for seeing what this is, and I actually have access to the closed alpha, so I'm looking forward to checking that out at some point. But yeah, that's Multiversus. Let me know what characters you're looking forward to being in Multiversus, and who you might main as. I'm thinking I might be Arya Stark, but I'll have to dive in and see what I like. I mean, obviously Superman, but we'll have to see what other characters I like in there too. Moving right along, we got 2 vampire-based video games that launched this week. The first one I put like 20 hours in already, so I'm pretty excited about this. V Rising is a survival game where you play as a vampire. I believe I talked about this a couple months ago because there was kind of an announcement back at the end of 2021. Talking about this, and yeah, you play as a vampire and you have unique weapons and armor, and you're trying to survive. You're trying to survive out in the wilderness, and you're trying to build up your castle. Like I said, I've got a lot of hours in it already, but because I really like it. Yeah, you're constantly trying to fight enemies, and then you use their blood to make you stronger, and you're trying to collect resources to kind of build up your castle and make it bigger and better. So I called it Vampire Valheim, but the isometric view makes it, a little bit less like Valheim, not third person or first person, however you chose to play Valheim. And the crafting system isn't quite as, or the base building isn't quite as in depth as Valheim is, especially because of the isometric angle, but I still really enjoy it, and there's really a lot of ways to kind of dress up your castle and your character. So I'm enjoying the crap out of it. It is on early access. I think it launched at $20 with like a couple of DLCs that you might be able to buy if you want to support the devs. But yeah, I'm enjoying the crap out of it. So if you are playing it too, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like I said, there was 2 vampire games that launched this week. The next one was Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song. Now, this is the Bloodlines game that we've all been hoping for. I've been anticipating Bloodlines for quite some time, or Bloodlines 2 for quite some time. But Swan Song looked like focuses, or not focus, like vampires take on like Detroit Become Human. It's like a narrative-driven RPG. And I think that's caused a little bit of poor reviews because you don't really get like that open world vampire thing that I think a lot of people were kind of hoping for. It's currently at a 69 Metacritic score, nice. And yeah, it's just really kind of narrative driven. You play as one of, I think, 3. And in typical Vampire the Masquerade fashion, each of those 3 characters comes with a unique set of skills that allows them to do some of the investigating and different ways that you can kind of. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about Swan Song. It wasn't what I wanted from the Vampire Masquerade world, but I never played Detroit Become Human, even though I like narrative-driven RPGs. But I think as soon as you throw vampires in that, all of a sudden I'm more interested, which is why I was a little bit more interested in V Rising. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. Hopefully it's a short narrative game that I can kind of play through sometime soon. Moving right along, we had a series of sequels all kind of announced this week. So let's jump right in. So Greedfall, I don't know if anybody remembers this. This was from Focus. That's where my head was going last time. Greedfall was the kind of Dragon Age like, kind of set like the Imperial, Industrial Revolution kind of era. Everybody's got flintlocks and stuff. This is getting a sequel. So the developers announced that it's coming in 2024. So you'll be able to get your hands on the kind of action RPG, like I said, like Dragon Age, that you know and love. I don't know a lot of people that played Greedfall 1, but I did hear good things about it when it came out previously. So I think this was out in 2019, was when Greedfall launched. So interested to kind of see where this one goes. I think there's several different ways that you could have gotten Greedfall. I think it was PS Plus at one point, so I might actually have it in my library somewhere if I wanted to go back and play it. Kind of makes me a little bit more jazzed for the Dragon Age 4, which I am looking forward to. So it just kind of has the same kind of vibe of like the third person magic and combat style that Dragon Age had. So but I think it tells its own unique story, and I've heard a lot of really good things about the character development in Greedfall. So it'll be interesting to see if we like pick up where Greedfall 1 left off, or if we start with new characters and a lot of time has passed. So interested to see what's going on there. EA has talked about the Star Wars Fallen Order sequel. It said that it's coming in less than a year. It's coming February or March of 2023, so it sounds like they're trying to get it in before the end of the fiscal year. It will be called, I guess, Star Wars Survivor or something like that. I know that they said that Survivor is in the name, so I don't know if it's Fallen Survivor or Order Survivor or just Star Wars Survivor. So, but yeah, this game's coming out in less than 12 months, so I'm curious if we're going to see, we've got to see something about that during Summer Game Fest, so it'd be interesting to kind of see what they do there. And I loved Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with another one, if it's still Cal Kestis or if you're playing a different Jedi, if you're in the same time frame, and how they kind of build on and make that world feel unique. And I'll definitely be coming at it with kind of an Elden Ring approach after putting 100 hours into Elden Ring. I assume that hopefully Jedi Fallen Order will be easier. The sequel will be easier since I managed to survive my way through that. So looking forward to that. Another sequel also announced this week was Norman Reedus was talking about him and Kojima still working together, and they're working on a Death Stranding sequel. No date or time frame was given for this, but I guess Death Stranding was received well enough to warrant a sequel, and I'm excited to kind of see what they do there. I know that there was a lot of really heavy themes in the game, so I'm curious what they do with the story. It sounds like Norman Reedus will be in it again, so maybe we're continuing his character story. And you can walk around and deliver mail and receive messages from the community, just like you did in the first one. So I was always kind of hesitant about Death Stranding, but I'm really interested to kind of see what they do with the sequel there. Moving right along, we've got a developer that you wouldn't think of is working on another game that you wouldn't think of. Without any further ado, Bloober Team, the company behind the developers behind The Medium, which was one of my favorite games last year, and the Layers of Fear series, which I get to play, but I really like The Medium, are working on a Silent Hill game. So I think this is all rumor and speculation. Like I've said, the video game industry is nothing without a series of rumors and speculations, but I could definitely see this kind of happening. They've got their hand in the kind of horror pie for quite some time, so I could definitely see Bloober Team doing it. And I assume that people really want a Silent Hill, the next Silent Hill game, because I think people have been clamoring for that for quite some time. So it would be interesting to see what Bloober Team does with Silent Hill, how the community receives kind of another Silent Hill. I know that the recent one was really well received, or Silent Hill 2 is in a lot of very popular like best horror game of all time lists. So it'll be interesting to see what Bloober Team, a relatively young development crew with some really good recent hits, what they do with the Silent Hill IP. So it'll be interesting to see if that comes true and what what that looks like. Moving right along, Gears of War is getting a collection, or at least again another speculation that Gears of War is getting a collection much like the Master Chief collection. Now that the Gears of War series has half a dozen or so entries in it, I could see that that in order to get all the story, you're going to want it all in one place. I could definitely see Microsoft kind of bundling that up for you and getting a Gears of War collection going. So, and there's been a lot of spin-offs, and much like what they've done with Master Chief, with like prequels and sequels and offshoot storylines. It'll be interesting to kind of see if they can handle putting Gears of War into one big collection, much like they did with the Master Chief collection. So I think this is much needed. I think I played 1, 2, and 5, so it'd be interesting to see kind of like what did I miss in 3 and 4. I know that there was a DLC that like I missed early on, and there was like character spinoffs. So yeah, if they managed to put it all in one place, I think a lot of people will kind of dive into that. And I think the rumor also included that Gears of War 6 will be a part of it. So so yeah, if you want to get the latest Gears of War, this might be the way you can get it. So or you can play it all on, and much like the Master Chief collection, you can play it all on Game Pass day one. So be really interested to see if this comes to fruition. I think it's a really good idea, and it'll do well. There's a game that came out last month that's been just like constantly popping up in my feed. I don't know if the algorithm is trying to tell me that I'll really like this game, or it's just kind of been slowly getting more and more information about it. But there's a game called Song of Conquest. It's a fantasy tactical based turn-based strategy game. And I've been seeing a lot of these, and I'm currently playing Demon Hunters, so I'm kind of turn-based strategy up right now, but I've been hearing a lot of really good things about it. And the thing that made me actually finally stop and sit and listen to what people were talking about was apparently in between like missions and stuff, there's or character arcs are kind of finished with a song. And I actually listened to like a small collection of a couple of those songs, and it was like, okay, I can get behind this. This sounds really cool and interesting. So if you have been playing Songs of Conquest, let me know what you think of it down below. I'm definitely interested in picking it up after I get through these kind of series of games, and assuming a dry spell in summer like there usually is in the games industry, I could definitely see myself picking that up and playing through it and rocking out to some character beats. So definitely looking forward to that. Last but not least, in a belated April Fool's Day joke, Dead by Daylight Behavior is working on a dating sim. I read the article and confirmed it wasn't actually a joke. It's not an April Fool's joke. Dead by Daylight, the asymmetrical horror game that has a bunch of killers running around trying to grab civilians and throw them onto torturous hooks to sacrifice them to a spider god. There's apparently going to be a dating sim about that. So I'm really actually interested. It definitely doesn't look like it's like the art style is completely different. They've got everybody. I swear this looks like a joke. This is the most April Fool's-y joke I've ever seen. But apparently it's real. So I've been a huge fan of Dead by Daylight. I think I have the poster. I have my poster somewhere around here. So I've been a fan of Dead by Daylight since it came out in 2016. But dating sim, not sure what to make of that. So I'm sure this will be fleshed out in the coming weeks and months, and I'm interested to kind of see what they do with that. So apparently not a joke. Dead by Daylight dating sim. Well, that's it for this week. Let me know down in the comments if you think I forgot anything, or if there's anything else in video game news that you want to discuss. This will be my last news report for a couple weeks. I'm heading out of town, so as always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you do, follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch so you can see more great content like this. I'll have links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend, and I hope you have a super day. Bye!